Welcome. So we've got 4.2, solving more complex linear equations. Actually, I don't need that on there, so I'll just delete that. It is not Thursday today, it is Friday, but it is Thursday when I'm recording it. Hello, future. Okay, solve each of the following equations to find the value of the variable. These are pretty similar to the previous questions that you were just working on on Wednesday. Just like it says, a bit more complex. So there's going to be a few more steps involved, but we will still get to the same eventual answer. Now, this one here, on part A, it's trying to solve for x here. We've got an x currently being divided by 3 and then having 2 subtracted from it is equal to x minus 1 over 4. Tricky thing here about getting rid of this 3 and getting rid of this 4 in order to get the x's on their own is when you multiply everything by 3, you have to, yes, multiply both sides by 3, but you also have to multiply every term within a side by 3. So on the left side here, when I multiply everything over this side by 3, then yeah, I'm going to get a little 3 up here, but I'm also going to get a 3 times here. So I'll rewrite this out where I'm going to have x over 3 minus 2 is equal to x minus 1 over 4. So if I multiply this whole left-hand side by 3, then I would get 3 here and times 3 here. And of course, I need to do it on the right side as well. So I'd put times 3 there. Now, I've multiplied everything on the left side by 3, and I had to do it twice because everything was separated by a minus here. So there were 2 separate terms that both had to be multiplied by 3. And then I've multiplied by 3 on the right side as well. So that's helpful because then it cancels out that 3 there. So then I get x minus 6 is equal to now 3 outside of x minus 1 over 4. But I also want to get rid of that 4, which means I have to multiply both sides by 4, which unfortunately is going to mean I'm going to have 4x now minus 4 times 6 is 24 is equal to 3 4s are 12. Now, I could write 12 here, but realistically, I've multiplied both sides by 4, which means I'm going to cancel this 4 out. So I'm just going to leave this as 3 outside of x minus 1. And then it's not going to be over 4 because I had a 4 up there, and now I've cancelled them out. So the 4 is gone. Now I've got 4x minus 24 equals 3 outside of x minus 1. I really need to probably expand this to get the x on its own. So let's do that. I'm going to have 4x minus 24 equals 3x minus 3. Why is it minus 3? Make sure you guys are writing this down. No, you can actually watch it first and then write it down. We can press pause at any point, I guess. James. No, I'm just kidding. So 4x minus 24 equals 3x minus 3. It's 3x because 3 times x is 3x, and minus 3 because 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. Now I've got it in a nice format where I can move things around. Again, the bigger coefficient of x is on the left, so I'm going to move this positive 3x to the left side where it's going to become negative. So I'm going to have 4x minus 3x, and I'm going to move this negative 24 over to the right-hand side where it's going to become positive. So 4x minus 3x equals now negative 3 plus 24, because it was negative here, and now it's positive here because it's on the other side. Oops. Great. So now I've got 4x minus 3x, which is going to be x, or 1x, obviously. Oops. Thank you. And that's going to be equal to negative 3 plus 24, which is the same as 24 minus 3, so it's 21. Done, solved. I can check that by substituting that value of x back into the original equation. And if you get them both equaling the same thing, then you've done it right. Okay, part B, similar situation. I'm going to have, I'm just going to write it out, 2x minus 5 over 3 minus 5x minus 3 over 8 equaling negative 1. Now here you can either try and make these denominators the same by finding the lowest common multiple, which I'm pretty sure is 24. And that's going to involve, multiplying like top and bottom of here by 24 and top and bottom of here by 3. Here's where some confusion can happen. You know how I always say, whatever you do to the left side, you've got to do the right side of the equation to make it equal. That's true. The exception here is what I do to the top of this equation, I have to do to the bottom. And that, again, will change how the equation looks, but it won't change the actual value of things. So if you do something to the top of an equation and the bottom of an equation, or an expression, it means that you don't have to necessarily do the same thing on this one, and certainly not on the other side. It's just a separate thing that helps when you're trying to get these fractions to look similar so that you can add and subtract them. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to multiply top and bottom of this expression by 8 so that I can get the bottom number here to be 24 and then eventually get the bottom number here to be 24 as well. So 8 times 2x is going to be 16x. 8 times 5 is 40. 16x minus 40 over 24 because 3/8 are 24. Great. Minus, and then here I need to times top and bottom by 3 because 8 3s are 24. So that's going to be 15x minus 9 because 5x times 3 is 15x and 3x or negative 3, whatever it is, 3 or negative 3 times 3 gives me 9 or negative 9 here. It stays the same. This minus just stays there. It carries down. And 3/8 are 24. Again. This just stays as negative 1 because I haven't done anything to it. Now, what can I do? I can actually do that. So I'm not sure if this is the simplest way, but now that we've got these two things over 24, I can combine them on the left side. So I can say 16x minus 40 minus 15x, but then I have to say plus 9 because I've got a double negative here. And that would, those things would cancel out to become positive. You'll be wary of those ones. They can be tricky. So I've got 16x minus 15x, great, I've just got x, and then negative 40 plus 9 is going to give me negative 31 equals negative 1, x then equals negative 1 plus 31, so therefore x equals 30. And I'm going to pause and check that. And I've realized I've made a vital error in that I forgot that I still have to divide all of this by 24. Oh, sorry. Okay, so it's still divided by 24, which that just means that I need to multiply both sides by 24. So I'm going to have 16x minus 40 minus 15x plus 9 equals negative 24. Great. So then I've still got x here and negative 31 because 16x minus 15x gives me x and negative 40 plus 9 gives me negative 31. And that is equal to negative 24. When I move the negative 31 to the other side, I'm going to get equals negative 24 plus 31 because it was negative here. When it goes to the other side, it becomes positive. And that, of course, means that that is then equal to negative 31 plus 24 is positive 7. So I'll try and shrink that so it fits in there. You can see it on there. Yeah, that's it. We got it. We got there. Negative 7. Correct answer. That's pretty much it. I'm going to, you can stop here if you want. Otherwise, I'll continue on and I'll do question 1A from the book as well. So stop here or play on. Okay, I guess you decided to play on. So here we go. Question 1A is 3p plus 1 over 2 minus 2p over 5 equals 6. It's not a b, it's a 6. 6. Okay. Here what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply, get rid of this 2 and get rid of this 5 straight out. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 2, which means I'm going to get 3p plus 1 minus 4p over 5 equals, timesing by 2, 12. Now I'm going to get rid of the 5 by multiplying both sides by 5. And again, on this left side, much like I had to this side, when I multiply, I multiplied both sides by 2, I had to multiply all the terms by 2. So now I'm going to multiply all the terms by 5, which means here I'm going to get 15p plus 5 minus 4p equals 12 5s is 60. Great. Now 15p minus 4p is 11p, and that's going to be equal to, I'm moving this positive 5 to the other side, is going to become negative 5. 60 minus 5 is 55. Great, so then p is going to be equal to 55 over 11, because I divided both sides by 11, and that's just 5. P equals 5. Sounds good. Let me know how you go. If you guys finish all of 4.2, go back and do 4.1. It's going to be helpful. Cheers.